Sunag. Islemi sunkundana sunkundona. Ishera la konsumana yide. Dan sunana no kumunch na nende sikite srar. Don man yeke kiesi na na miesa na ye. So, hello. Welcome to this reading. So, I was about to finish the last one in my series that I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. And God said, no, today is a diversion. And I came into the reading speaking in tongues, so only Jah know where this shit is about to go. So without further delay, let's all just take a deep breath and relax. Let's keep the blood pressure levels low. So, Most High God, block anybody trying to interfere with this reading. Please do step in and deliver your messages to we, your children. Sometimes I love my job. Sometimes I feel the way y'all be feeling when I come on. I feel like, oh shit. What's about to come out this time? But you know, I don't decide what stories come out. Just like you don't decide what stories come out unless you're part of the story. And the story that comes out is only what's actually happening. So, if the readings are horrible, it's because there's a lot of horrible people doing horrible shit. You know? And if it isn't happening, the story wouldn't come out. So, upon saying that, me personally right now, I feel yeah, I'm a bit bothered. I'm a bit bothered by what's about to come out. I'm not at ease. Yeah. My heart rate is it's not at its usual pace. It's a little bit faster than it usually is. And I know that this time that's my heart rate sped up. Oh, so cause you see, I don't really like to come on and have to cuss people out. I don't like to have to come on and be like a disciplinarian. But I'm a naturalist and I have to follow the vibrations that are flowing through me unless they're destructive, you know? I have to honor my feelings, I have to honor my truth, the truth will set us free, you know? And some people, they need to get shouted at, some people, they need to get called a few horrible words. The tough love, you know? Tough love is necessary. So, you know, they say love is the answer. Just know that tough love is also a type of love. It's not always talking about the love where you're being gentle with people and you're being patient and you're being tolerant. And yeah, tough love is saying, okay, enough is enough. Yeah, I've tried it this way and it doesn't work. So now, because you refuse to get in line, I'm gonna have to kick you up the ass. Excuse me. And it's like, it's better, well, it's not better if I do it, but there's some leniency if we listen to words. When we're being chastised with words and we correct ourselves, it is better than if we keep going in the direction that we're going in and really hurt ourselves. Because for somebody like me, my intentions are good towards everybody. No matter what you've done, no matter what you're planning to do, my intentions are good. They're positive. And as you guys have heard us say on this channel many times, the energies that were prevalent in the earth, they have shifted. And in these times, this is the part of Earth's story where goodness prevails, integrity prevails, correctness prevails. The days of being disingenuous, manipulative, offensive, outright unfair, and seemingly not being chastised for it are over. It's like there's been a shift. So where things were like this, now they're like this. Okay? So, and when I come on here and I talk to people, anybody who is being truthful about my content, even though I say what I say, how I say it to the people that I'm saying it to, someone who is using their right mind, they will see that it doesn't come out with the intent of hatred. It doesn't come out with the intent to seem like I wish bad on somebody or I don't care. Okay? I know people like myself are rare, meaning people who actually want the best for everybody. We're rare. We're not the majority. Okay? People like me, we believe in redemption. We believe in second chances, third chances, fourth chances, fifth chances, sixth chances, seventh chances, eighth chances, ninth chances. But then there comes a point where we have to say enough is enough. We have to. It would be illogical of us, uncivilized of us, irrational of us to not at some point say, okay, that's enough now. Whether it's for our own benefit or for the benefit of somebody else. And then if that don't work, then we step back and say, okay, Most High, you see that we put in our effort, now it's all up to you and them. Universe, you see that we put in our effort, now it's all up to you and them. Angels, you see that we put in our effort, now it's all up to you and them, because what I'm doing and what I'm saying is not working. And I'm done with this case. I've washed my hands of this case. Because I'm not going to let that person drag me down. I'm trying to pull them up. And clearly they themselves don't want, they either don't want me to help them pull them up, or they don't want to be pulled up, or maybe they don't believe in the pathway that is being suggested as to which direction will take them up. Okay? So yeah, we people like me, we have been gifted with the task to help humanity to improve. But humanity must want to be helped. And humanity must also put in the work that they need to in order for them to have well-deserved, long-lasting success. We can't do it for you. We can only take you to the well. We can't make you drink water. That you have to do for yourself. I don't wish anybody for anybody. I be giving people the answers. Because I truly wish you well. Whether you like me or not is irrelevant. I'm a servant of God. And that part of my job I love. It's very rewarding on a soul level. To know that even when somebody do me wrong, I don't in turn have to match their energy. That is very comforting to me. Because at the end of the day, you are who you are, and I am who I am. I'm not built like you, and I like how I was built. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. But I will not hesitate to stand up for myself if the situation calls for that being the rational decision to make. Because if you allow people to keep pushing your boundaries, each time they're going to go further and further and further. And that's how people snap. When you have been put in a position where the rational thing to do is to put a stop to bad treatment, and you choose not to. You keep that inside. You internalize the sadness, the depression, the disappointment, the anger. You internalize. And it hurts your own self. But when you stand up for yourself, before you really get pushed to your limit, your explosion will be very much controlled. You will most likely have a hold on all of your faculties. Okay? That's why it's not good to make situations fester and just get out of control. It's good to speak up. It's good to do something about the issue when the issue arises. Don't allow someone to get the impression that something doesn't bother you when it actually does. If they care about you, they will try to do something to rectify the situation, to keep the peace. If they don't care, then they'll keep doing it. And that's when you have the right to now decide, okay, well, since you don't care, I don't care either. And that's when the fight broke out. Because I tried being nice, tried being civil, but you insist on hurting me, even though you know that you're hurting me. So now I'm going to hurt you back. I'm going to pray to God for God to show me exactly what to do to you to make you feel. Because everything don't hurt everybody. You have to know your opponent so that your rebuttal is effective. And who knows our opponent better than our God? Pray. Before you strike back, pray. And trust the answer. that you get. And carry it out, no matter how other people see your move. Because you might be you might be surprised. The type of simple things that really get under your opponent's skin. And God saw them when they were hurting you. God saw you try to settle the matter in a civilized way. God saw you enduring. God saw you cry. God felt your pain. So if you ask God to assist you or guide you on how to get this idiot to stop, it will be God's pleasure to oblige. It will be God's pleasure to help you. It will be God's pleasure to exercise its intelligence, its presence, its love for those who are helpless, those who feel powerless, those who feel hopeless, those who are alone. We're never alone. God is always an option. A present help in times of trouble. The conjurer of miracles. A miracle is making a way out of what seemed like no possible way. We are believers in the impossible because we are believers in God. We depend on God. And so God would not disappoint. If we have faith in God and God does not come through for us, what does that do to our relationship with our God? God doesn't want that. But you can't fool God into thinking that you're a person of faith when you are not. Because then when you come at God, fooling God into thinking you're a person of faith, then God flip the switch on you and really test you and show you how little your faith actually is. Or in some cases, non-existent. So that's for the people who pray and nothing gets done. How strong was your faith really? Be honest with yourself. I'm sure you'd find your doubt was much greater than your faith. That's the wrong equation. It's an insult to God. We fear man, woman, more than we fear God because of all type of different things. Their position, their authority, them being having the power to tell you no, them having the power to shut down things. Listen, anything that anybody take from you, you do not need. If you're standing up for the right, and standing up for the right gets you shut out of anything or anywhere or from anyone, it's because you don't need them. We were not put here to kiss anybody's ass. God don't even want us to kiss its ass, and God's ass is very worthy to be kissed. So if God don't want us to kiss its ass, nobody else's ass is worthy. The redemption of your soul is your responsibility. And with God at your side, and you knowing that God is an option, no excuses are acceptable. No excuses for making bad decisions are acceptable. If you're afraid, ask God for courage. If you're confused, pray for clarity. If you're lonely, pray for a worthy companion. If you're feeling hopeless, pray for hope. And you get the point. I heard somebody say that with me or before me. So you see where I'm going with this. If you're jobless, pray for work. And it's not every time that God wants you to go out working for somebody else. You need to keep an open mind. If you can't find work, create it. If you cannot find a source of income, pay attention to see if God is guiding you in the direction for you to create. Because sometimes we have limits on ourselves that are so beneath us. Whatever made us think of ourselves or see ourselves in that manner is irrelevant. We are who God says we are. Stop fearing God because you're not perfect. God knows we're not perfect. God created us imperfect. What God wants is our honesty. Be honest with God and be honest with ourselves. We start there. If we were all perfect, God wouldn't need to come and save anybody from anything. If we were all perfect, there would be no need for education. There would be no need for counseling, advice. There would be no need for companionship. There would be no need for anything because we're perfect. God knows we're not perfect. Stop fearing God because of your imperfections. Stop fearing God because of your immorality. We are here to learn. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. Give yourself permission to mess up. Forgive yourself. And try to get on the path where you don't mess up in that way. It may not work the first time you try it, but if you truly don't want to be a fuck up, you will keep doing it and you will succeed. There's no need to fear God. There's a need to trust in God. There's a need to rely on God. Okay? God already knows everything. And God loves us still. God loves us still. God is patient with us. That's why people who do bad things and they keep doing bad things and it look like they don't get no karma is because God is giving them a chance, a grace period for them to correct their behavior. Unfortunately, people don't see it as that. So that's why people like me are here to tell you that that's what period you're in. If you know that you're doing bad things to yourself and to other people, and it seems like if you're not getting punished for it, it's not because God doesn't exist. It's not because God can't do anything about it. It's because God created you with a sound mind. And when you don't know better, there are people around you that God put around you to tell you what the right is. So you can develop your ability to discern when it comes to morality. It would do you well to listen. It would do you well to pay attention. It would do you well to think about what you're doing before you do it. Before you turn to wickedness, pray for help. Pray for direction. Pray for whatever you need so that you keep your hands clean and your heart pure. Why? Because that's how you become a powerful motherfucker like me. Duh. My innocence, our innocence, it beckons a level of protection from the divine. Experience has taught me that. Innocence is a very powerful thing. Now, when we hear news stories and we hear about how this happened to this person, and everybody's saying they were such a loving person and they were just the life of the party and they never hurt anybody. Is that true? How do you know? In my experience, my innocence has been like my security guard or my currency for security. Yeah, that's the better way to put it. My currency for God's security. I keep my hands clean and I keep my heart pure. And God surround me and protect me from all the evil things that people have tried to do to me. And are still trying to do to me. And will still try to do to me in the future. I don't need to worry. I just need to keep my hands and my heart clean. You see, part of our problem as humans is we look to this physical world a little bit too much. We prioritize the physical world more than we prioritize the spiritual world. And that's backward. You need to flip that around. I'm not powerful because I'm rich. I'm not blessed because I'm a bad motherfucker. I'm actually powerful because I trust in God. And I am blessed because I am free to bless. I freely bless even those who don't bless me. It's a superpower. People look at it as weakness, but yet still, you can't conquer me. They can't conquer me. Make yourself make sense. You, those who pursue me, talk to you now. You see who I am. You see what I do on a regular basis. You've experienced me in an intimate way. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't see any physical beings around me beside my little daughter. It's always just been me and my little daughter. That's all you see physically. So how am I this powerful? You don't see me going out and buying magic stuff and casting magic spells, and I don't know anything about that shit. If I had to protect myself against you, my enemies, because you're so vast in number, because potent in intelligence, because there's a collective of you worldwide, because you're so nonchalant about taking lives, I would have been finished. Long time. You would have finished me long time if you could. I believe you finished me several times, and God just keep bringing me back to life. I just go sleep and wake back up every time. There was this one incident that happened. You know, there's the thing that, let me talk to the collective now, everybody, including my enemies. There's a thing that they call deja vu. I experienced something, but I know it was not deja vu, because vu in French means seen. Deja, already seen or seen before. In my case, it was not deja vu. I call it deja fait. Why? Because the word fait, Faire, in French means already done. It means to do. So I call that experience that I had deja fait, Fait, already done, already experienced. So let me tell you about this experience. So I went out with a friend. We went to an allotment where they plant foods and stuff. And I remember hanging over the car window. I was outside the car, the person was inside the car. And I was just leaning over the car window talking to this person. And all of a sudden I got that sensation, or I got that vibe where I've done this already. Like, I was here, same exact, everything, having the same exact conversation. We did this already. How can I feel like this happened already? Because I know they teach us to call this thing deja vu. But it's not something that I've seen before. Because it's not in my memory as a dream. It wasn't in my memory as a vision that I had when I was awake. No. It came to me as this happened already. I was standing right here, leaning over your car window, talking to you right here, right at this allotment. Same car, same clothes, same person, same everything. So sometime after this experience, I went to do a reading to find out, well, what the heck was that? Because I brushed it away, I left it. But as I got more and more into reading tarot and communing with God and things like that, I was curious, like, teach me something. Because I know I did that already. That I was killed. In that very place. And God somehow did a do-over. I'm talking about in this lifetime. I'm talking about a couple of years ago this happened. I don't know how I was killed. I didn't, but I found out that I was killed. And was brought back to life. So now the people who did that, how did y'all feel when y'all saw me again? Do you all even remember that? I don't even know how that worked. I didn't dig too much into it, but I was killed on that very day. I don't know if the person that I was with had anything to do with it. I don't know how it happened. I didn't look into that part. I just wanted to know how come I felt like I did this same thing already. It's because God did something like reverse time or something like that. God gave me a do-over, and God will always give me a do-over because we are miracle. believers. We don't play about our faith. So it's pointless to kill me. I just won't go away. I will stay away. If I die, I will stay away when God wants me to. I've seen this on an episode of Charmed before. Those of you who watch Charmed with the was it Phoebe and Piper and Prue and Paige Halliwell, where some crazy destruction happened. And in this one scene, there were some cleaners who came along and they just kind of reversed everything. So it's like the three witch sisters, they had the power, well, they had the task to sort some kind of mess out. I don't remember exactly how it went. But they failed the mission. And then here come these cleaners. And they just rewound everything like nothing ever happened. That's how I envision it actually happened. That's why I had the déjà vu experience. I didn't see that before. I did that before. So when I sat down and I actually took the time to think about why the hell I feel that, because deja vu mean to already see, and I'm saying I didn't see it in a vision, neither asleep nor awake. I did this shit already. How can I have done something already and here I am doing it again? How can I have a memory of doing this, what I'm doing already? If it was a dream, I would remember it as a dream. If it was a vision, I would remember it as a vision. But it didn't come out like that. Y'all can't fool me. I did that already. So how is it possible that I did that already and now here I am doing it again exact? What kind of time something was that? How can I have a memory of physically doing something that I'm actively doing at the time when I'm remembering I did that? We need to pay attention to life. We're missing a lot. And we're allowing these idiots to just tell us whatever they want to tell us. What we choose to believe can either make or break us. God made me remember, and that's the only incident. I mean, I've had it before, but I passed it off as this deja vu. I've had it several times before in my lifetime, but I never stopped to really analyze what really is that. But that time, I say, you know what? Now that I have the tools to commune, I'm going to use them. And my findings were rather fascinating. So if you're wondering why I'm not afraid of death, that's why. God is the decider of death and the decider of life. Why should I fear man or woman or men or women? I have no fear. And even if I find myself in a situation where my physical body is shaking, because you know that shit happens sometime, Just know that in here is stillness. And I'm going to do what I have to do. Because I ain't no punk. I ain't no quitter. And I'm not afraid. Might be even somebody else's shakes that I. At times I come on here and do videos and I'm feeling other people's and their fears and their anxiety, and I know it's not mine because I know who I am. I know who is with me. I know whose I am. And for me to fear when I know I have God on my side is an insult to God. Giving power to who? What man? What women? What men? What woman? What group? None of you are worthy. You are tired for see me face. You can't get me out of the place or the race. Any type of race you want to think of. God put me here for a purpose, just as God put you here for a purpose. Every last one of us are here for a purpose. But a lot of us allow society to divert us. You're powerful too, but you deny yourself access to your full power. Because let's look at power. Power comes from somewhere. So there are people who believe that their power comes from their self. That's somewhere. There are people who believe that they can get extra power by grouping up with others. That's somewhere. There are people who believe that they get power by calling on deity or demons or Satan or whatever. That's power coming from somewhere. But me, I get my power from God Almighty. So let's take a look at the rank when it comes to these powerhouses. We truly can't be our own source of power all the time. Any power that we have within ourselves is reserves that came from the source. It's only reserves. That's why we run out. That's why we have to sleep. That's why we have to eat. That's why we have to take time to rest our mind. We run out. That's why we get tired. That's why we get fearful. We run out. We run out. We run out of courage. We run out of intelligence. We run out of happiness. We run out of even sadness. We run out. We run out. We run out. And if we were the source, we would never run out. Hence, we have energy vampires. It's a real thing. I was having sex with a man and not even in the physical. Those of you who know about telepathy and the power of telepathy, follow me on this and you will be able to attest to this. Whether you tell anybody or not, that's besides the point, but hear what I'm saying. I was having sex with a man who was connected to this group of people that decided they want to be my enemy. And every time that I would engage in that type of activity, mind you, in the mental, in the mind, not in the physical. Every time I engage in sexual activity with this dude, I end up laying in my bed for time. No strength of my own. So all the time he was coming pretending that he loved me and he cared about me. Because God said that this man is my husband in the spirit. Let's talk about these contracts that we have with people in the spirit. He was my husband at the time. So he had rights according to divine law. Not knowing that this dude was connected to these other people in whatever coven or what you want to call it, the organization or whatever. And I would be sapped of my strength and be laying in bed for days. And what they would do too is do all type of shit to keep me emotionally in turmoil. Feeding off of my good energy and giving me that crappy one. And you know what I eventually did? I stopped. And hear the trick. They've been doing this to me from since about 2014. But it's like they got smarter and smarter with it as the years went on. So, and this is all telepathic. Okay? So I'm dealing with these people sexually, telepathically. The first one, when I would deal with him, my money go to shit. I realized, so you know when you got your tiff with your people, and this is all telepathic because we never really used to commune like that in a real life on the physical plane. This is telepathic. So every time that I would deal with this dude, every time that me and him are good, my money go to shit. And every time that me and him aren't getting along, all of a sudden my money go up again. So that's where they started. So there were like 4 of these men. And by the 4th one, me say, you know what? If me and you can't work, I'm going to take a break from all men. And me and him didn't work, and I took a break from all men. And that's when the secret society lady come to me herself. This is in telepathic land too. First, she appeared to me as a snake in my vision. That's how she presented herself. A reptile. So because I pulled back my energy from all of them, they realize, oh shit, our source. We no longer have a connection to our source. So now the head bitch in charge, she came to me trying to pretend to be my friend. But the next day, I found myself talking in tongues when God started revealing to me that this bitch has bad plans for me still. She's not my friend. So she tried to attach herself to me emotionally. So it's like she's saying, man, oh, y'all are just losers. Let me do it myself. And she almost. But it wouldn't be long before I realized that she was a cunt, because I mean, you only get one time to fuck with me. But God said, you know what, I'm not even going to give her the chance. I'm going to tell Shanel right now what really are going on. Trying to get Oshun to come help her to fight me. That was the source that she went to. So everybody needs a source. So you need to recognize when you are the source. And I could only be a potent source to such a huge organization because of my connection to the source of all sources. It's because of my connection to God why my energy can fuel this whole organization in the way that it did. Listen, we're missing a lot when it comes to not paying attention to life properly, not believing in the spirit realm. You're missing half of your life. And only God knows what other realms we need to learn about. But I know about the physical realm and the spiritual realm so far. And I'm learning as I go along. So I'm telling you what I've learned. But everybody needs a source. So why am I going to go around being an energy vampire on other people? Why am I going to go around asking these goddesses and these whoever that are equally flawed like myself to be my source when I have a direct communication with the Most High? Why would I go to a secondary or tertiary source when I have the ability to connect directly with the primary source? Make yourself make sense to me. Why don't everybody just connect directly to the primary source? You can do it. Why you gonna be targeting me to try and steal my financial inheritance and my life force instead of just connecting to the source? I'm glad I cut all of you off. I'm glad y'all are dying without the access that you had to me and my power. I look like a bomb-buckler battery to you. I guess maybe that's where the term battery dolly come from. Battery dolly. I remember on Matrix, but the manifestation that they showed us on Matrix was slightly different. But on Matrix, they had all these babies in one of the scenes that was the source of power for the planet, because the sun, I have to watch it again, but it's like the sun, they did something to the sun and the sun wasn't shining to give what the sun usually give to keep the planet and everything on it alive. So now they had a whole bunch of babies in a whole bunch of incubators hook up to something. The source. What is your power source? Y'all will try all other things except to connect to the Most High God. You find yourself in trouble, and before you even call on the Most High, you exhaust every other secondary avenue. That's the difference between me or people like myself and the average human being. We go to God first. Matter of fact, we're always in God's presence. We live a life of praise and worship to the divine. That's how we live, and that's how we love to live. We don't like doing bad. We don't like doing wrong because we know that shit is weak. You want to prove how strong you are? Live a life of doing the bumbuckler right. Put yourself first when you should put yourself first, and put others first when you should put others first. Let me see you do that. You want to prove you're strong? Stand up to those who deserve your adversity. Otherwise, don't talk to me. You can't stand next to me. If you're not the type of person to tackle your problems at the bumbleclot source, don't fucking talk to me. You cannot stand next to me. You can't measure yourself next to me. You're not ready. This shit stim is hurting all of us, and instead of standing up to the shit stim, we steal from each other. We fight each other to survive, when each other is not our problem. It's the people who created this shit stim. That's the root of our problem. The one who keep us fighting against each other. If we're not fighting against each other, they come up with scenarios and they put on these elaborate shows to fuel the war. They are the problem. If you don't have the balls to stand up against them, you can't fucking talk to me. You cannot stand next to me. You can't sit next to me. You can't sit with me. You can't measure yourself up next to me. Because if you're not part of the solution, you are part of the problem too. We are not the same. About minimum wage. And supremacy. And then we have all the people taking bribes because they're securing their family's well-being, whilst they know that what they're being tasked to do is something that's going to hurt everybody else. You're part of the problem. People carrying out orders that they know they shouldn't, but it's my job. You are part of the fucking problem. This is how I feed my children. This is why I do this. You are part of the problem. We don't care what excuses you have. You're part of the problem. That's why you bend to the will of this corrupt system. You're weak. It don't matter how big and how burly and strong and deep your voice is and how big your clique or your posse is, you are weak. You're weak. You're weaker than me. If you're part of the problem, if you choose to be part of the problem for money, for fear of intimidation, for fear of suffering, or anything, you are weak. And you need some God in your life. Because it's not a good look. You are weak. You don't care how much of a thug you think you are. It doesn't matter how many guns you got. If you're using your intelligence, your talents, your gifts, any kind of power that you have to uphold this oppressive and destructive system that is not our friend, and they're not your friend either, you're weak. You're a coward. You're a pussy. If you're not using your strength and your wisdom and whatnot to stand up against the right things and the right people, you're a pussy. For real, for real. You're a pussy. You're a bitch. Just admit it. It's good for your soul. Say, yes, I'm a bitch. Yes, I'm a coward. Yes, I am a pussy. Yes, I am afraid. Start there. Whatever we fear the most, it controls us. You don't fear God, but you fear the system. When almost everybody who solved the system feel the way I do about it, see it the way I do. But some of us have what it takes to not fuel it, no matter the cost. And some of us don't. You're weak. You're a pussy. You're a coward. You're a failure. You have failed yourself. You have failed your children. And then we talk about this shitty world that we're bringing children into. Whose fault is it that the world is shitty? They who sit at the top and give out orders, they cannot run this and make this a shitty system by themselves. They need you people in the positions to carry out the orders. That's how the shitty system is perpetuated and fueled. You are the power source because you follow the fucked up orders. Which manifest this crappy system of being. If I don't do it, they're just gonna find somebody else to do it. It's better you let them find somebody else to do it. Because when shit hit the fan, your name is going to be tied to the fuckery. It's better you step down. If you can't take the heat, get out to the kitchen. We are moving into a different time. Things are not the same. Your children are showing a lot more courage than you. Your children are showing themselves as having more backbone than you. Your children ain't here for the fuckery. They're not with it. It's a different type of people that are being birthed into this world. And many of them, they're already here. Your children are not like you. They're not afraid like you. They will not promote the racism like you. They will not bow to the intimidation and the fear of loss like you. Look around. We can call these new generations soft if we want to. But I don't think that they're soft. They're the ones who are going to come and fuck up those who need to get fucked up. And they're going to do it in the right way. They're going to do it in the intelligent way. And what you, the parents, were too afraid to do, watch your children and your grandchildren come and show you how the fuck to do it. They're going to be like me. And the others who are like me. Since you're too afraid to create a better world for your children and your children's children, since you're too afraid to help manifest a system that your children and your children's children can come and thrive in, they gonna do it for themselves. Y'all better be ready. Y'all better be ready. Admit you're a coward. When your child is talking to you, you will do well to admit, yes, I was afraid. Yes, I did it because I wanted to keep a roof over your head. I know it was wrong. The truth. It will help to salvage whatever is left of your relationship with your children. Don't try to lie to them. And don't try to convince them to be like you if they've already rejected you several times. They're not built like you. It will not work. You're only going to piss them off and you're going to drive them away. If you love your children, you have to know when to just allow them to be themselves. Educate them on the system. Educate them on what will happen if they try to stand up to the system. And if they decide, well, I'm going to do it anyway, you have no business standing in the child's way. You don't know who God created them to be. My parents didn't know who God created me to be. Look at me. And I didn't have my parents to hold my hand through all the struggle and the loneliness and the not knowing what to do and the abuse and the hospitalization. I didn't have them to hold my hand, but God was holding my hand. You don't need to hold their hand. They need to learn to rely on God. They need to know the truth about what the system actually is. And they need to know that when they see the truth, it's actually the truth. Don't try to color the truth with no bumbleclad lies. It's not going to end well for you. Because the children are already upset. I see several posts with children wanting to sue their parents for bringing them into this bumbleclad world. I see them say, if you know you're poor, if you know you can't manage, why did you bring me here? And the children have a point. You don't want to create a better world for them, but you want to bring them into this shitty environment and tell them, go and thrive. Thrive how? When there's a system. There's a system created to keep them down if they don't want to comply with the system. If they don't want to conform, they're not allowed to be individuals. They're not allowed to reach their own height of greatness. And when they do reach their own height of greatness, they're not allowed to use their money and whatever to really create the kind of world that they really want to live in and they really want to see. You need to tell your children that that's the reality that we're living in. And if they decide, I'm going to go at it anyway, let them. Because we're not all built to be cowards like you. Do not stand in our way. Since you don't want to fix it, we want to fix it. Don't stand in our way. Or else we're going to push you over too. Because we want to create a better world for ourselves and for our children and for our children's children. Are you understanding me? My people didn't know who I was going to grow up to be. You don't know who your children are going to grow up to be. Disown them if you want to. Just don't stand in their way. Because when you disown them, God gonna pick us up. God is the mother of the motherless and the father of the fatherless and the helper of the helpless, the provider of the poor. God is our everything. God is our friend. God is our lover. When it's time for us to have a good man or a good woman by our side, God gonna send him or her to us. We don't need you. Thank you for bringing us into the world. If you feel like your job is done now, it was very nice knowing you. I appreciate you. And I hope we can meet up in the future on better terms. For the time being, stay out of my way. Or else I'll forget that you brought me here. Since you feel like you brought me here and you can't help take me the fuck out, I'll forget that you brought me here. Because I didn't come here on your side. I could have died in your womb. God allowed me to live. You were just a portal and a development chamber and a seed. Don't give yourself so much credit. Don't raise me up to be a coward like you. Because me risking my life is creating a better world for you too. You're welcome. We are who we are. You don't get to tell us who we are. You don't get to decide our purpose. You do not get to decide our fate. It's okay if you're scared. We are not. And that's supposed to be okay by you. Somebody has to do it. And the ones who feel it within themselves that they can do it, let them. Let us make our mistakes. Let us get into our problems. You know what would be nice? But you probably won't do it. Is if when we do need a helping hand, that you're there to be a helping hand. But because of your loyalty to the shitty system and the people who run it, and your fear of what they will do to you by helping us to bring them down, we know that you're going to always side with the system. So, yeah, stay over there. But don't get in our way. Or else we'll make you realize that you're between a rock and a very hard place. You think that because we are smaller in number that we are less potent. Somebody was drawing a reference to the greats before us, and they were like, it was always one person that brought about massive change to society. It's always started with one person. Just one. If I have the courage to stand, let me stand. You do not have to stand with me. But if you stand against me, we're going to have issues. It's better you remain neutral. Let the people who want to perpetuate this crappy system do their dirty work themselves. Because if you ride with them, you deserve to die with them. Whether that's a physical death or losing all your property, all your possessions, losing your mind, losing your spiritual gifts, however way God want to kill you. If you ride with them, you deserve to die with them. They're your peoples. They're your peoples. We stand together. You ride with them, you're going to die with them. It's crunch time. You're either on our side or their side or no side. That's the time. That's the part of the story that we're in right now. You're either on the good side, the bad side, or no side. Pick your poison. I've already picked mine. I picked God. And whatever comes with God. and it has been serving me. What's the word when they are flawlessly? Yes, it's been serving me flawlessly up to now, and it will continue to do so. You can drag me off to your crazy house if you want to. You can drag me off to your jail cells if you want to. If God allow you, that is. You can drop me in a pit somewhere. You can take me to a deserted island and leave me there. You can give me diseases. You can starve me. Whatever God give you the power to do. I don't care. I will make sure my mission gets done. That's what I care about. That's my ambition. That's my goal. That's my raison d'etre. Yeah. Raison d'etre, for whoever want to know, is reason for living. I'm only here for that. Whatever happens after that, I don't care. And me personally, I ask God for eternal life, because through every generation where the darkness takes over the earth, I want to be here to guide those people back to balance. Some people talk like we're meant to leave this earth. I don't mind leaving the earth, but I'm always going to come back. I like it here. I like what I do. I like who I am. I like what's going on. I like fixing it. I have no desire to leave this body and just go somewhere else and forget about earth and the people that live on it and all that they're going through. That's not I'm not built like that. But I would like to visit whatever else is there and come back. You know? After a while, I'm going to be the lady that just lives somewhere off the grid. In a nice place. But when it's time for evil to take over again, I'm going to just step into my own little zone out there until God say, okay, Shanel, they've done enough down there. Can you please go and help sort that out? And then I'll rise again like, where did you come from? Shit, I was away. I was just living my life like it's golden. Yeah, I want to be that lady. I want to be alive for thousands and millions of years. Just watching the human story just develop. Watching the highs and the lows. You know? Seeing the struggles and the successes. Shit. Yeah, that's my heart's desire. I like it here. You know? So, and it's like, God created all this loveliness. But because of the system that we live in, even when the sun is shining, there's such a darkness that takes over. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, the sun is shining, but I ain't got no money. Yeah, the sun is shining, but I got man problems. Yeah, the sun is shining, but I got woman problems. Yeah, the sun is shining, but I got children problems. Yeah, the sun is shining, but I don't live in my own house or my own space. Yeah, the sun is shining, but I don't have a job. Or I don't like my job. You know, my boss doesn't treat me right. Or the government's charging me too much taxes and not charging the rich people any taxes. You know, those who can afford to give to society more, they don't have to pay no taxes. They find all type of quote unquote loopholes to not pay taxes. And then we, the people who hardly have money, we have to pay all the taxes to help keep up whatever. And then the shit that we're paying the taxes for, they don't even get kept up. Because I was out yesterday and there was this girl on the road with a petition to keep the street lights on at night in Watford. Apparently, it will save the government £14,000. Why does the government even think that it has the right to lock off the street lights? Why is that even a thing that people have to be signing petitions? I don't even know if it was real. Maybe that was one of their setups. Maybe she wasn't even real. But I wrote my name on the petition because I find that it's ridiculous. Of course I'm going to support keeping the fucking lights on. Some people work at night. Some people prefer to go for walks at night. Why should I be fucking in my house being afraid to go out because there are no lights out there, and that just carries up the crime rate? There's gonna be more muggings, more rapes, more sexual assaults, more kidnappings because there are no lights. Why do you have video cameras if there are no lights to highlight what's going on? What the fuck kind of irresponsible council? What kind of mismanagement of funds or whatever could cause a county to talk about lock off the street lights at night? This is the type of system that we live in. And not only are our little girls not safe, our little boys won't be safe either. The men won't be safe either. What happened to all those people who have to go out to work at night or coming home from work at night, trying just to feed their children and look after their families, trying to do an honest job? About lock off the street lights at night. It will save the council £14,000. Aren't you charging the people them enough taxes? How many people live in Watford? I don't see no great street works and whatnot to go on. What's really happening? Do I need to do a reading on that matter to find out what the hell is really happening? About sign a petition to keep the street lights on at night. Don't we pay enough taxes to make sure that that shit can happen? Keeping the place clean, keeping the fucking lights on, all them things they're supposed to be standard, provided for we the people. Our safety is supposed to be your number one priority. You see what I'm talking about by a shitty system? And that's just one example. We're not going to talk about all the estates that they build up that don't even have a place for the children to play. Why is it that you build up a housing complex full of a whole bunch of buildings, right? And parking spaces, and then you're going to talk about no ball games and no this and no that? First of all, the people them live there. They should have a play area. There should be a play area. Fence it in or whatever you have to do. But there should be a play area where the children them can go outside. They're not far from their parents. Then parents can look outside the window and see their children right there. Or some neighbor can look out and see, okay, they're safe and whatnot. It should be standard that when you build a housing complex and put people in there to live, there's a place for the children to play. There's going to be so many children. Why is it that I have to go to work from early morning? The travel is crazy. First of all, you have to wake up some ludicrous hours in order to get ready for work. Then the commute is a madness. You get to work, that's a madness. Then you do it in reverse. You jump back on the commute. And then you get back home, you still have dinner and all these things. And then I still have to find time to take my child to the park or something. You know what I'm saying? I still have to go walk how far in order to take my child to a park just so they can free up themselves and not be lazy and fat and all these things. What kind of people are be thinking about when y'all are doing things? Y'all don't care about people. That is your biggest problem. And that's why things are going down in so many different industries. You got place to park the car, but you don't give a fuck about the children. Yeah, we know you don't care about us. You're like me. No. The system don't care about us. The system and their colleagues, their comrades, they don't care about us. They care about that money. But they're so stupid because if you care about the people, you won't have to care about the money so much because the money gonna come to you. Moo. That's what I've been trying to tell y'all. Y'all don't have to be so mean. Y'all don't have to create such a crappy system. Kindness will take you where all your manipulative business tactics can never. Show the people that you support them and the people will truly support you. It's too much to ask for you to show regular people some kindness, isn't it? It's too much to ask. You just can't do that. What will my friends think? Your friends are idiots. Who cares what they think? They're not smart. And you're an idiot for caring about somebody who's clearly an idiot. If you know better and you refuse to do better because you don't want to seem like the odd one out, or you don't want your friends to be like roasting you, as they call them, like dissing you, like saying stuff and making you feel like you're not part of the group or just bringing you down, then you're an idiot. It's your bank account and your karmic account that's being negatively affected just so you can fit in. Y'all tire me. Anywho, let those who have an ear hear, and those who have an eye see, and those who have the courage do, and those who have God. Yeah, I'm Godding right now. Yeah, I'm Godding right now. That's why I can say the things that I say and not care. Because what I say is true. And what I say is right. And what I say come with good intentions. Even if you don't think so. Bullying is a crime. Neglect is a crime. We have a moral obligation to each other. We are our brother's keeper. We are our sister's keeper. We are a human family. It don't matter our color, our class, our religion, our region. Because you know God has a way of putting us in such turmoil that all that shit don't even matter. You know them ones? When there's some big natural disaster that you see black and white and Asian and Indian and old and young and light skin, dark skin, homosexual, heterosexual, judge and priest and lawyer, student, CEO, everybody just pulled together to make things balance. God has a way of doing that. So all y'all who take our unity for granted right now, and we allow all these little stupid belief systems and all these little stupid whatever you want to call them keep us divided and competing with each other and hurting each other, disrespecting each other, disregarding each other. God know how to put a stop. And I'll be sitting out here watching that shit. I watch the news then, because I know they're going to televise that. I will gladly watch news reports then, because right now I don't watch news. None at all. When I come on here and do reports about these countries and whatnot, is God tell me for this. Me no watch no news. But I watch the news then to see how everybody pulled together and nobody care about nobody class and bank account and what people are wearing and all them things. God know how to fix y'all, man. God know exactly how to fix it. I'm just a messenger and I'm just here to do whatever little bits and pieces God give me the strength to do and the courage to do in between. You know what I'm saying? But the bulk of the work, yeah man, God know how to fix y'all and give you a little reminder that we're all human. We're not very different. Right now you're too comfortable. You're too comfortable, so it's cool for you to separate yourself from others and look down on each other based upon you got a better car than them, you got a bigger house than them, you got a more profitable business than them, you're Mr. So and so, you're Mrs. So and so, you're white, you're black, you're Asian, you're Puerto Rican, you're Mexican, because you're comfortable. But God have a way to make you forget your individuality and scream and cry, oh, the humanity. Yeah, now you remember we're a human family. Just wait. I look forward to seeing the reports. Yeah. I'm just a little pebble dropped in the pond. God is the whole pond. Better yet, I'm a pebble dropped in the sea. And God is the whole sea. Now my little pebble drop in the sea and I make I make little ripples in society. I make little ripples in society. Don't worry. God got the power to make tidal wave. So if you don't listen to the little ripples and be influenced by the little ripples, don't worry, the tidal wave gonna come. Since you can't hear, you're gonna have to feel. I'll be over here praising the Lord like hallelujah anyhow. Don't let your troubles get you down. Yeah, that's gonna be me. So whenever you see shit start hitting the fan, just remember my face singing hallelujah anyhow. That's what I'll be over here doing. Yeah. So anyway, if y'all stayed with me and listened to me for this long, thank you very much for keeping my company. And I hope that what was said here today, it sparked something in you. You know what I'm saying? We have to treat each other better. You know? You have the power to make a positive difference. Make a positive difference. We're not looking for perfection. Again. Perfection is boring and I don't think it is attainable. We're not looking for perfection, but the way things are going, it is not okay. We can do a lot better than this as the human family. You can maintain your supremacy without having to diminish another. Why you feel like you need to diminish another for you to feel like you're better than them? Stop it. Stop it. You're doing too much. We're not gonna like you. And as soon as your competitor rise and they're nicer than you, we're gonna leave you and go to your competitor. Believe that. Being kind to someone isn't going to kill you, but it can keep you alive. Because when people know you to be kind, they'll want to protect you. Maybe the people that know you, they won't respect you like that. But strangers, that's why they say a prophet has no honor in their own land. I'm living proof of that. Strangers love me more than the people who grew up with me all my life. It's good to be kind. Just be kind. You never know who gonna be a blessing to you. And how. Just be kind. It's not gonna kill you. It can only make your life better. Anybody who hates you or hate on you because you're kind, there's something wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with you. We need to have a return to sender season. Return to sender, bro. And your backbone. Your own bumbleclap backbone. Find your own too. It's not a good look. Ye without a backbone is not a good look. Ye without your balls is not a good look. If we want a better world, we have to create it. We're going to have to let go of all those who and all that which keep us back from manifesting it. We're going to have to let it go. And take chances. How you going to know what you can achieve if you never try? I'm tired now. I'm going to leave y'all. Anyway, it's been lovely. I hope you learned something. Until next time, I'm going to love y'all and I'll leave you. Even though you don't like me. Well, for those of y'all who don't like me, I'm going to love you still. And I'm going to leave you. For those of you who do love me, I love you right back. You know, I'm not used to getting that love, so I'm kind of shut off a little bit. I'm going to try to open it up. You know, like the Grinch when you get the love and the heart just goes pop. Yeah, I'm going to open up my heart and accept your love. Let me see. How many? That's quite a lot of love. Thank you. Thank you. So at least I have more lovers than haters. And how do I know? It's because we are spiritual beings. If you tap in, you will learn some things from the spirit realm that your eyes don't need to see. Your ears don't need to hear. Did you know you have an inner eye and inner ears? Did you know you have an inner nose? You should pay attention to yourself a bit more. Because if you don't pay attention and you're uneducated, I'm going to look like a crazy. That's offensive to me. Your stupidity choose to see me as crazy. I'll fuck you up. I'll pray to God to fuck you up. Do not ask me because of your ignorance. Do not make my life difficult because of your ignorance. Go learn something. Okay, I'm done now. Until next time. Bye-bye.